Welcome back to my channel Iraqi Dinar News Update. Here's the Bank of Baghdad's unprecedented achievement of becoming the first private bank in Iraq authorized to issue sovereign guarantees marks a significant milestone in Iraq's financial sector, with deep and far-reaching implications for economic confidence, foreign investment, financial market modernization, and crucially, the Iraqi dinar's potential revaluation, IQDRV. This development reflects not only institutional trust in the Bank of Baghdad but also a larger strategic shift in how Iraq positions itself globally, economically, and monetarily. 1. Understanding sovereign guarantees and their significance. Before diving into the impact on the IQDRV, it's essential to understand what sovereign guarantees are and why this authority is so powerful. A sovereign guarantee is a financial commitment made by a national government to cover a borrower's debt or obligations if they default. It effectively makes the state the ultimate backstop, providing high creditworthiness to projects or financing arrangements. These guarantees are crucial for large infrastructure projects, e.g., power, roads, telecom, ports, attracting foreign direct investment, FDI, supporting local businesses in securing international financing, enhancing project bankability for international lenders and investors. Traditionally, only Iraq's Ministry of Finance and Central Bank held such authority, allowing the Bank of Baghdad, a private bank, to issue sovereign guarantee signals, a historic decentralization of financial instruments and a newfound institutional maturity in Iraq's banking sector. 2. Institutional trust, sovereign risk, and revaluation foundations. 2.1. Institutional maturity signals economic readiness. For a private bank to be entrusted with such a mandate indicates that Iraq's financial infrastructure has improved its transparency, governance, and risk management standards. The Bank of Baghdad is considered fiscally robust, with liquidity and capital adequacy levels suitable for such responsibility. The Ministry of Finance is confident in delegating sovereign credit issuance beyond its walls, implying lower sovereign credit risk in the medium to long term. This move aligns with international financial norms and reflects economic stabilization, a key prerequisite for currency revaluation. Stable institutions signal to IMF, World Bank, and foreign markets that Iraq is ready to enter a more advanced monetary phase. 3. Investment inflows and foreign participation. 3.1. Sovereign guarantees unlock foreign. When a bank can issue sovereign guarantees, it lowers the risk profile for external investors. This is especially important in Iraq, which, despite its vast potential, has long suffered from a risk premium that scares away global finance. With sovereign guarantees, multinational corporations can safely invest in Iraq's energy, infrastructure, and technology sectors. Iraqi contractors gain access to foreign funding lines backed by the state. Diaspora Iraqis and Gulf investors are encouraged to invest domestically. 3.2. Capital inflows and the IQD. Increased capital inflow strengthens the Iraqi dinar in several ways. Foreign currency reserves increase, giving the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, greater flexibility in managing the exchange rate. It boosts demand for local assets, including bonds and government securities denominated in IQD. Investor confidence grows, reducing reliance on parallel markets or black market exchange rate. Thus, the sovereign guarantee framework could serve as a lever to unlock billions in FDI, indirectly pressuring an upward shift in the dinar's valuation. 4. Strategic alignment with dinar revaluation path. 4.1. IQDRV requires strong banking infrastructure, a currency revaluation, particularly for a sovereign currency like the Iraqi dinar, cannot occur in isolation. It must be supported by a strong domestic banking system that can manage post-RV liquidity, ability to handle increased transaction volumes, especially international, mechanisms to sustain value stability after appreciation. The Bank of Baghdad's authority to issue sovereign guarantees now places it in a position akin to regional powerhouses, like Emirates NBD, UAE, or QNB, Qatar, making it a potential anchor in the post-revaluation financial ecosystem. 4.2. Signaling to International Monetary Fund, IMF, and BIS. Such developments also serve as a signal to international financial institutions like the IMF, which monitors monetary stability, the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, where Iraq has become more active, the World Bank, which supports sovereign guarantee-backed infrastructure loans. This momentum strengthens Iraq's case for transitioning from a pegged exchange regime to a more flexible, market-based IQD value, possibly within an IMF currency basket framework. 5. Support for national projects and local production. 5.1. Mobilizing capital for development. Iraq's National Development Plan 2023 to 2027 emphasizes building energy self-sufficiency, developing manufacturing and agriculture, creating millions of jobs through private sector growth. The Bank of Baghdad's sovereign guarantees mean that Iraqi contractors can now access low-interest, long-term loans backed by the state, but delivered through a private financial vehicle. This supports a productive economy, reducing imports, strengthening local supply chains, and increasing the real demand for IQD domestically. 6. Reducing pressure on the US dollar peg. One of the most significant barriers to IQD revaluation is dollar dependency in trade and finance. With tools like sovereign guarantees available through Iraqi banks, projects can be denominated in IQD, reducing dollar demand. Contractors and suppliers can be paid in dinars with state-backed security, increasing trust in the currency. De-dollarization gains credibility, allowing the central bank to adjust or abandon the dollar peg in favor of a more independent currency path. This lines up with other policy shifts, including halting US cash dollar shipments to Iraq, tightening FX windows, repatriating reserves from abroad. All these actions set the stage for a controlled and credible IQDRV. 7. Competitive signaling to regional markets. By allowing a private Iraqi bank to issue sovereign guarantees, Iraq positions its banking system as a competitive player in the Gulf and broader MENA region, attracts cross-border joint ventures, where foreign banks partner with local institutions to develop large-scale projects, prepares for potential inclusion in regional trade and financial blocs, including GCC-based digital currency, pilots and cross-border digital settlements. If Iraq transitions to such models, particularly if backed by a revalued and stable dinar, it stands to challenge dollar dominance in regional trade, especially oil contracts. 8. Public confidence and banking inclusion. One major barrier to successful currency reform in Iraq has been low public trust in the banking system. With the Bank of Baghdad's elevated role, more Iraqis may open accounts, knowing that their bank is backed by sovereign instruments. Business owners may choose bank financing over cash transactions, bringing more activity into the formal economy. This expansion in monetary participation increases IQD demand and monetary policy effectiveness, crucial for a successful RV. Conclusion: a strategic step toward revaluation readiness. The Bank of Baghdad's historic authorization to issue sovereign guarantees is far more than a financial footnote. It is a structural leap in Iraq's march toward economic sovereignty and financial modernization. By decentralizing sovereign guarantee issuance, the Iraqi government demonstrates confidence in private institutions. It unlocks major infrastructure financing potential. It paves the way for foreign capital influx, IQD usage expansion, and reduced dollar dependence. In macroeconomic terms, this move strengthens every pillar required for a dinar revaluation: monetary confidence, institutional trust, investor engagement, and local economic activation. While an RV date is never publicly telegraphed in advance, developments like this are critical signals that Iraq is preparing its foundation for such a transformation. I recently read, quote, "Iraqi government is currently engaged in the significant debate regarding the future of the IQD exchange rate, specifically whether to transition from a fixed exchange rate system to a free floating one. The Iraqi dinar's value is currently fixed by the Central Bank of Iraq, meaning its value is not determined by global forex market forces. Ministry of Transport, the development path will change the economic landscape and make Iraq a hub for global trade. Ministry of Transport. The development path will change the economic landscape and make Iraq a hub for global trade. The Ministry of Transport announced on Monday that the development road will change the economic map and make Iraq a center for global trade, while indicating that the road will provide job opportunities for more than 100,000 Iraqi workers. The spokesman for the Ministry of Transport, Maitham Al-Safi, told the official agency, "The development road project is not just a transit corridor or a transit station, but rather a comprehensive economic development project with strategic dimensions that will change the map of the Iraqi economy and make Iraq a pivotal center in global trade between East and West." Al-Safi explained that the project consists of several key pillars, most notably the Grand Four Port, which will transform into an advanced maritime destination, receiving and handling the largest ships, along with the attached economic city, giving Iraq a truly competitive edge in the field of maritime transport and logistics services. He also added that the railway and road accompanying the project will include more than 12 stations distributed among the governorates, providing local governments and other ministries with unique investment opportunities in the fields of agriculture, industry, and manufacturing, in addition to the possibility of establishing modern residential, industrial, and economic complex. He also pointed out that among the most prominent elements of the project are the establishment of industrial zones and linking them to the new infrastructure,